Hey everyone, this is Angie at StampingWithAmore. Welcome to my channel. Happy Easter, everybody. At this time, I am with my family, enjoying their company and having dinner. And I hope you all are having a blessed Easter day. But today, I'm going to focus on Mother's Day because this is the next, I think, major holiday that we have coming up. So I thought I'd do a mother, and this is a slider box. Isn't that pretty? It'll pull out like this. I put some Dove chocolates, but you can put a bunch more in here. There's, I think, 6, but you could probably put 12 at least in here. But you can put any kind of candy you like, or any treat or a small gift would be really cute. But I love this paper, and this stamp set is really, really pretty. But this is what I'm going to share today, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm changing up the color on this one. I'm using Peach Pie this time. You need one piece that's 5 3/4 by 4 1/2, and then one piece that's this piece, and then one piece that's 8 by 4. That's for the outside. And then to mat it, you need a piece that's 3 3/4 by 8 1/8. For those of you who are new, there's an inspiration sheet on my blog at StampingWithAmore.com. You can print and download. And also, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications each time I upload a new video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and please share with everyone. And I appreciate all of you who already do that. So this is what I'm using. Now, the stamp sets that I'm just using one bundle, and it's the Spotlight on Nature. So that covers the butterfly. I did use these leaves on this one. I may or may not on the next one. And these are the dies. There's so many beautiful decorative circle dies in this set. You can use whichever you like, but I'm using this one right here. And I already cut one out. I actually cut out a couple different colors because I thought I might use our, what are they calling these again? This is the Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. So there's the black on white and the white on black, and there's every sentiment you can think of. And I did find a Happy Mother's Day in here. So I was thinking of using it on this one. If you don't have the mini alphabet, you might want to use this ephemera pack for that. But I did use the mini alphabet. I love this mini alphabet, y'all. I have 2 or 3 of these little containers that I've saved with all kinds of letters in it. So yeah, I have a bunch in here, and I can just pick the letter I have. But I'll show you what they look like, because you can just cut them all out at the same time. So here it is. And this does have 2, well, it has an M and a W, which are the same. And so I did cut it out in case I want to use that right there. So I'm going to use this Mom on it. But I love these. They're the perfect size for treat boxes and bags. And then there's a lot of other little question marks and ampersand and all that stuff there. So that is all I'm using on this project. So let's go ahead, and here is, I'm going to show you the sentiment on here. So this is the one right here, and it's a pretty Happy Mother's Day on there. All right, let's go ahead and stamp the butterfly and the leaves. And in case I decide I want to use the leaves are just like under here, just to give it a little bit more of a little accent. They actually look really pretty on here. So I'm going to use some Memento Black, and I'm going to stamp the butterfly. I'm going to use my Ohuhu markers. They are linked in the description. And I also have a video out showcasing the Ohuhu markers. And also there is a discount code in that video, and I also have it linked in the video of this one. But it's also linked. You can see it on my YouTube channel. Alright, so we're just gonna, I stamped the other one in the old olive, but I'm gonna try with the darker one this time and see if I like it better. All right, so I'm using just 4 Ohuhu markers here to color the butterfly and the flowers, because I'm just gonna use the dark and light green on the leaves here. So I'm just gonna color this light. This is G020 for those of you who have it. I know quite a few of you have been purchasing these because y'all, you know how much I love these. I don't even have to say anymore, I don't think. It's just, I love these markers so much. I just said I wasn't going to say it, right? But I can't help myself. And then I'm going to use the G060 and just highlight some of these areas. So we're just going to go over that really simply, nothing fancy here. I'm just kind of emphasizing those little veins in there. All right, and then we'll do this butterfly. So I'm going to start off again with this light color, and we are going to color just these little parts right here of this butterfly at first. Then I'm going to use this darker one again. I want to use the brush tip on this one. I did give a few little tips and pointers because I'm still learning, y'all, but yeah, there's some little tips that I learned from other people that you can maybe learn from me something. And I'm just going to color some of these this lighter, kind of like every other one, but just do however you like it. I just did the colors pretty much of this designer series paper because I like everything to match really good. I'm just going to add a little bit there and kind of blend this just a little bit out. And then I'm going to go back with this lighter green and add this to it. You can even add, if you want, there's Pool Party in this paper as well, but I didn't add that. All right, that's all I'm going to do on that. I do have to fussy cut these, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll speed through all the fussy cutting because I know you don't want to sit and watch. It's really easy fussy cutting though, so yeah, I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the butterfly cut out. These snips, y'all, are so good. I could even get between these little antennas of the butterfly. I love those snips. But yeah, I did just 3 leaves, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to use the leaves on this one. We'll see when we get to the end to decorate it. So those are ready to go. Let's go ahead and score these. I use my Simply Scored here. And on this one that is 8 by 4, we're going to score it on the 8-inch side. And you're going to score it at 1, 3.5, 4.5, and 7. And that's it on that piece. And then this piece, that is 5 3/4 by 4.5. On this 5 3/4 inch side, you are going to score it at 1 and 4 3/4. And then you're going to turn it and you're going to score it at 1 and 3.5. So it's 1 inch on all 4 sides, if that makes it easier for you. And on this one, we are not going to score. I'm going to just mark it. It's so much easier than trying to score it and fit it. So I'm just going to do that after we get it all put together. So I am going to take my little snips here, and we are going to cut in to this bottom piece. Just going to cut in here, all 4 of these corners. That one we're not cutting at all, just this bottom piece. I love these little slider boxes. I don't make them enough, and I like to make all different sizes. They're really fun to make, and they're so cute. And I'm going to take my great bone folder here. I love this thing. It's also linked in the description. I try to link all my favorite things down there, so if you are interested in them. And then this one we are going to fold. Okay, so I'm going to use some Seal Plus on all of these 4 corners. And we are going to just line these all up. Make sure you line these up good, because it does matter in how these boxes fit together. Now on this part, what I usually like to do is I fold this, but I don't go all the way to the score mark. I leave like maybe an 1/8 or a 1/16, probably more like a 1/16 of an inch there, so that this slides on and off easy. So I'll just bring it up, and I'll not go all the way up to that, but I leave, it gives it a little bit of extra room there. And then we're gonna, oh, I forgot, darn, I forgot to punch my little slit. And so I'm gonna undo this one side. Before you put it together, remember to punch your slit. And I also, it's easier if you cut a little bit off of these ends. So I'm using this is the hole punch assortment, and then you just want to punch it like in the center here. And then let me add a little bit of extra adhesive, because now I don't want it to come apart. And then this way, when you cut it short, it doesn't interfere with your little, you're going to have to tie a knot in the ribbon. So let's go ahead and grab our ribbon. Let's see, I'm going to use the same ribbon. I'm going to use the peach pie ribbon on this one. I used the contrasting, and I really like that. But I don't have any Daffodil Delight. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a piece of this, enough where you can tie a knot in it. And I don't think I did enough there. So you want to be able to tie a knot in the bottom here. You can always pull this tighter once you get your knot in there. So then pull it from your loop, so you still have that loop there. But you want this pretty tight, because you don't want it to come apart. Let me cut that a little bit. All right, and then you're going to take it and you're going to slide it through this little slot right there. And I usually just use a regular piece of tape, so I'll just use some little piece of tape here, and I'll put it on each end of this knot. You can even go over the whole knot if you want. I just put it on the little ends, but it keeps it pretty darn sturdy. I've done this lots of times, made lots of these with the little knots on the inside. I don't know, I haven't done it exactly like this, but I have used it where I put it on both sides of the knot. All right, so there's our little pull, and then you want to put this on here, and this should fit really snugly, and you might have to fool with it a little bit to get it on, but it should fit pretty snug, and you want it that way because you don't want someone to pick it up like this and everything fall out. All right, now let's mat it. So what I do on this is I do start at the bottom here, and I'm just gonna line it up where I'm gonna have it, and then just start kind of creasing it on all these corners. Make sure you're doing it straight so it's not crooked when you put it on. Okay, and then I'll just use some seal, and I'll usually go down the sides, and then this paper is so pretty, by the way. I'll show you the pack here in a minute. And then I do start at the bottom again here, wherever your bottom's going to be, and just start going around. I didn't center that too well, y'all. Center that a little bit. There we go. That's one good thing about the seal. You can lift it while it's... And then I just go around and sharpen the edges all the way around. It makes it look really nice and neat. So there you go. All right, next thing is to decorate this. So I am gonna, I don't know, what should I do here, y'all? Should I try the sentiment and just use the butterfly? I can just use this Happy Mother's Day on here. It is a pretty Happy Mother's Day. And then just put the, I don't have room for the leaves, I don't think, on here. I'm gonna also make another bow with this. Let's make a small. Oh, I love this peach pie. It's so pretty. I've used it a lot. And I'm trying to think if I want to, let's fix this. I don't want those hanging down too far. If I just put that on here and then put the butterfly on there. You know what? I'm going to do it the way I did it before with the mini alphabet. Y'all, this is an option for you to use that. But I'm just going to go ahead and add this piece here so I can show you how I did the original one. And then I'm going to use my glue gun, Mom, on here. The Mom's in Pool Party, by the way. The background of this is Pool Party, and I thought it really looked pretty with the Pool Party. So I'm just going to do the Mom. And I had, like I said, I had a bunch of these. I did redo a bunch of Pool Party. So I have Pool Party, and I think I have Old Olive in that one. But I have black, I have white, I have a couple of those full of letters, so I can just grab them when I need them. All right, now I'm going to add the leaves. Where did my other leaf go? Oh my goodness, it was just sitting on the side here, but it was upside down. I couldn't see it. All right, so let's use the glue, wet glue again. And I'm just going to put some 3 little leaves on here. We'll see if I like the black or the old olive ink better on these. And then we're going to add our bow here. And I'm going to use a glue dot. The glue dots seem to work better on the bows. So I'm going to put this, oops, stay on there, on here. I think I'm going to like the old olive stamped better because it's keeping it really light. The black looks a little stark, I think, on this one. Let me fix my bow. And then we're going to put a couple more glue dots on our butterfly. And then we're going to put the butterfly right up here at the top. Right in the middle of the bow. And that is it. There you have it, all done. Fill it with your favorite treats, or you can put a small gift in there. But yeah, there's Bella. She's saying hi again. And then here's the other one. I think I like the lighter, the old olive stamped, the leaves stamped in old olive better than the other one. Which one do you like better? Let me know if you like the black stamped or the lighter one. And which one do you like, Daffodil Delight or the Peach Pie one? I think I'm leaning towards the Daffodil Delight, y'all, because I like the contrast with the ribbon, and I like the designer series paper with it, and all the little accents. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. If you need any supplies, you can shop on my blog at StampingWithAmore.com. By the way, the new rewards program has started. So if you, this is just in short. I have a description and everything on my blog. I talk about the new program, but when you spend $20, you get 10% back in rewards. So if you spend $20, you just get $2 back, and it just keeps on going. It's 10% of whatever you spend, and you can use it the time of purchase, or you can save it and let it add up. But there are expiration dates on it, so always check to see when they expire. All right, everyone, have a blessed day. I will catch you in the next one, and happy Easter again. I hope you all have a great day. Catch you in the next one. See you later, everyone. Bye.